Welcome to our 24th episode of our fourth year on Mind and Money Matters live show, coming to you live, representing Master of Science of Business in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. And we are in the month of June dealing with the Ministry of Arts and Culture. And as you know, we are coming to you to bring to you the science of business, whether it's coming from those who are in business, on their way into business, been in business for a few decades or so, or just starting. But we are benefiting from the wisdom of their success wherever they are in their businesses, so that you and I can be encouraged to avoid the pitfalls and benefit from the wisdom of their success. And we are excited to bring this to you. We have our notepads out. We encourage you to have yours. Put your thinking caps on. Let's just get ready to learn from those who have taken that leap. As they went from either they started out in business without working for anyone, or they were sidepreneurs. We like to focus on the sidepreneurs because we know those working on the side, trying to build that business, needs some tips, right? Time management tips, how to get through, how to navigate, how to get that paperwork done, how to get that business organized, how to get beyond the fears, all of those good things. So we're looking forward to sharing with you the best of what we have found out in our very own communities. But before we go any further, we're going to bring to you our dear brother Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad. He is the founder and CEO of Falah Worldwide Seminars and Training. He is also our very own logo file, as so coined by our dear sister Sandy Buford Muhammad of Soul Wisdom International. She, both of them, I think they compete on the word game thing. They playing ping pong back and forth. Who can deliver the most new words to the platform? They got me playing word games, so I can try to up my game and my vocabulary here on Mind and Money Matters live show. Anyways, we're going to bring to you our human GPS personnel organizer and trainer. He represents the final call and promoting it and making sure that we either read it in person or digitally. That is our dear brother Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad. You ready, brother Jahi?
We stay ready. What they say on the street, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's what's up.
Well, welcome, business scientists, to another episode of Mind and Money Matters live show, the definitive podcast for Black business bodaciousness. And we know we put together a dynamic show for you all that tonight, but whenever you watch it, you're definitely going to learn something. So as you're watching this, whether it's in the midnight hour, it's in the middle of the day, or early morning, when you watch this broadcast, I ask you to do a couple of things. Make sure you have something to write with, because the guests that we have on today, as always, all of our business scientists are sharing a lot of information. That is our stick. We're going to bombard you with information, whether you're watching this Mind and Money Matters live podcast, or if you schedule an appointment with us through Master the Science of Business to have your initial business strategy consultation, or if you sign up to be one of the community members of the Master the Science of Business community. That's what we pride ourselves on, is bombarding you, overwhelming you, making your head dizzy with the amount of information that we share with you so that you can extract something from it and begin to move out on it. So I'm super excited, as you can tell, this evening about the guests that we've lined up. We are in the month of June, which we dedicate on this platform to the ministry of arts and culture. And Sister Shireen sounded like she was from Boston there for a few moments when she over the arts and culture. You know, I just tease you about that. The Ministry
I've
of
been
Arts.
playing around with accents today. I have my country accent on. I've been messing around
All right, what's a
with
country accent?
accents. I
I
can't wait till
might.
we have my cousin on. She will entertain us with that.
Right. Oh, and we do. I want to thank to those that are tuned in. I saw our number one supporter, Sister Tahira Muhammad, has checked in, and Bees Making Honey has checked in. Shams, the Baron, who will be back with us next week as well. He has checked in. He's bringing on some of his celebrity hip hop friends next week. But this week we have a great lineup for you. But before we get started, let me do my little piece. Got to represent, as Sister Shireen said, the final call, y'all. This is the latest issue. Look at that. Islam dignifies. Absolutely beautiful. The millions of brothers and sisters that are circumnavigating the Kaaba in Mecca, and Minister Farrakhan and his detail were part of that beautiful um, showing in Mecca just recently. So you must. This is a must get copy of the Final Call, like all the other 50 issues per year of the Final Call, but this one is definitely a collector's item. And if you need to get your copy, you can meet us at 3642 Camilton Road, which is the Southern Regional Headquarters of the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the national representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Matter of fact, all men that are listening to the sound of my voice, today is Monday, June the 17th. We have a community wide FOI meeting tonight. So, no matter what your political, religious, ideological persuasion is, meet us at 3642 Camilton Road at 7:30 for a dynamic, open community forum. You get a chance to, we'll give you a peek inside of what the dynamic FOI class look like. Bring your sons, bring your nephews, bring your next door neighbors. All males are invited to Muhammad Mosque, any Muhammad Mosque within the Nation of Islam. But here in Atlanta, 3642 Camilton Road. Also, if you're looking for your copy of the Final Call, you can go to 2036 Sylvan Road, which is Cafe Ulu. Cafe Ulu is a distributor of the Final Call newspaper. The Black Dot Cultural Center, which is in downtown Lithonia. They are also a supporter and carrier distributor of the Final Call newspaper.
No, Cafe
And
Ulu is on Sullivan Road in Atlanta.
that's what,
Sylvan Road in Atlanta. The Black
right.
Dot.
That's what I said. Black Dot
Oh,
is
okay. I'm
in
sorry. I thought you
downtown.
said Cafe Ulu.
No, Cafe Ulu, Sylvan Road, 2036 Sylvan Road, the Black
Right.
Dot, downtown Lithonia, right before you cross the railroad tracks. See Baba Kazim Day. Tell them you come there to get your latest issue of the Final Call and a slice or a whole bean pie, the Supreme Bean Pie. And there are a plethora of other locations around the city of Atlanta, and those of us uh, that are supporters and citizens of the Nation of Islam, you can get your copies from us. Falah Worldwide has a program going on now where we're distributing the Final Call newspaper to your home or office within a 30-mile radius of downtown Atlanta. We will bring it to your office or home. So just give us a call at 404-438-3156 to arrange your 8-week subscription. Your 8-week subscription, only $10. Only $10. We deliver it to your home or office within a 30-mile radius of downtown Atlanta for 8 straight weeks for only $10. Yeah, you heard me right. One other location that you can frequent if you're in the Clayton County area at the intersection of 136, 138, Georgia 138 and Georgia 85, Highway 85. The Clayton County Study Group FOI are out there every day between 11 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. So you can pick up your copy of the final call there as well. And also, this is the second week of the month, I believe. And economicblueprint.org, economicblueprint.org. 5 cents a day, brothers and sisters, 5 cents a day, a nickel a day toward our liberation. A nickel a day comes up to 35 cents a week. No tricky mathematics. You can add it up yourself. 30 cents, 35 cents a week, $1.40 a month, $18.20 a year. And if only 16 million of us did that for wage earners, we will raise $291,200,000 in a 12-month period of time. And we can use that, we will use that to buy land, buy land, buy land, buy land, and other resources that are needed in order for us to continue to be a sustainable and viable nation. And last week, please accept my apologies. I started off at the beginning of the show and I said I was going to share some information with you, and we got so caught up in the how the dynamism of the show that I think that's a big that classifies as a big A word for today, if that's a word. And I didn't forget. I just didn't want to. We were running out of time, and I wanted the information that was being shared to overshadow it. But I do have that information I talked about. I got a couple of ways, there are 4 ways in particular I was thinking about that you and I, as small business owners, can market our business. See, we're masters at this because we don't have a humongous budget in order to get the word out about the plethora of businesses that we operate. So we have to think creatively. So, Sister Sandy, Sister Shireen, I thought about 4 ways that small businesses can market their business for less than $100. One of the first things I want to say, one of the first ways is research your market. Know as specific as possible. And this may take a little time for you to do. I'm not expecting you to do it overnight, but research your market. Who is it exactly that you want to talk to? We define our market as being those who have a job and they're looking to either add income to the family household, or they're looking to begin to set up a way to steal away off of their current job slash career. So that's why the term sidepreneurs or side hustlers or that sort of thing, and it's not in a denigrating way, but you have something else in addition. You're working this in addition to having your main career, your main job. So you begin to set that up. So, but what does that person look like? We see that our market are Black women between the ages of 24 and 45. That's that time period. You got a few years into your career, that the late 30s, early 40s, and you're looking to see what that next transition in your life is going to be. So we know it's a huge market for us. So research your market is number one. Number two, turn your email into your heavy hitter. Your email. A lot of you that are watching this, you get a plethora of text messages from me, and you get emails from me. That's how we started out. That's how it started with the email campaign. Sister Shireen and I were talking some years back, and we had some ideas that we wanted to present to those that were doing blog shows and things like that. And we started out with an email campaign, and then we graduated. We said, okay, let's do it ourselves. So that's why we wind up here. So email campaign, and you can, some of the email marketing systems, you can start out free, like MailChimp. Up to a certain number of emails is free, and then you can go to what's the other ones? Constant Contact and a few other ones where you pay a monthly fee in order to have access to send out more emails. And those are very, start with your, what in sales we call your warm market. These are people that's already in your database, and you begin to let them know what it is that you're doing. So email marketing. A third one that I saw was this podcast. Podcast. Start a podcast. And we are here to help you. This is our 4th year, 3 complete years doing it, and we're into our 6th month of the 4th year. So we have 3.5 years of producing a show every week. I think we know a little something about podcasting, a little something, something. about it. So if you're interested in starting or doing your own podcast to get the word out about what it is that you do, just give my Master Science of Business a call at 404-438-3156. And we can talk you through those steps or consult with you on how to get that platform started. As well as with the podcast, is you can advertise on some podcasts, i.e., Master the Science of Businesses Mind and Money Matters live show. The rage reaches a few thousand people every week, a few thousand people every month with the 4 to 5 shows that we do, and it's a specific market. So the investment in advertising is not like you would pay for a Super Bowl ad, not yet, not in the millions of dollars yet, but we can work with you on your budget for your event and for your business. So again, all you got to do is just give us a call. And then the fourth one I thought about, Sister Sandy and Sister Shireen, is said be strategically social. What I mean by that, for everything, every industry that we have, everything that you and I do, there's a group that does that. There's a group that meet to do that. And so begin to join one of those groups, join one of them so that you get a chance to see what other people are doing in those arenas and make your alliances. And and also you can set up uh, get their list of people that's within that organization and market to that circle that are doing similar things. So those are 4 strategies or 4 techniques that I thought about that help you and I market our business if you don't have the humongous budget just yet to market. But so all these things cost less than $100 each to do. So that's my tips from Falah Worldwide, Word on the Street, which we changed the name of, but we forgot the name of it. So we're gonna stick with Falah Worldwide, Word on the Street until July 1st, and then I will know what the name of this segment is. So it is now my honor and privilege and pleasure to bring up my co-host and business partner in Master the Science of Business, who operates several businesses herself, she and her husband, brother Tim. So she's a very, very busy lady, and we're always honored that she would take the time out to join us and bring that high energy to the platform every week from your life center and from Soul Wisdom International, Sister Sandy Buford Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Testing
ma'am.
1 2 3 on the
Praise
wheel.
be to Allah.
DJ,
What's up?
DJ
What's up?
Sandy.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Ashe Hotem and all of that good stuff. Let me tell you, I am still hyped from last week, Brother Jahi. I'm just saying, if you did not see that show last
Come
week,
on,
you
last
need
week. That
to
was
make
like 6
sure
years
you
ago. You
go to our YouTube channel. Okay.
Last week was off the chain. Absolutely.
We went way over the
that
top.
sounds some good
Man,
stuff
we
there.
had so much fun, so much fun. And I believe we talked about we're going to have one of our guests come back and be a part of our Master the Science of Business Academy. So, man, y'all need to check that one out. Okay, I ain't gonna tell you nothing else about it. You just need to go. You see Sister Shireen do her stuff at the bottom of the screen. I think you can subscribe. So every time we get ready to come up, you already know. So you ain't missing it. Because if you miss it, you know what they say, you miss it, you might be too late. All right. So listen, I got a new word. So Brother Jahi brings us the upsum at the beginning of the top hour of every show. And if you happen to miss anything, you need to go back and listen to the beginning of the show. So yes, new word for the day is upsum. UPSUM is a real word, Brother Jahi. You know what that means?
See, well,
I told you, y'all, they in competition with that vocabulary now. I don't understand. But all
Yes,
right.
he always get me. He always get me. I had to get him today.
I know
He
what it means.
brings the upsum
Do
at the
you know?
top of the hour. If you miss anything, you need to make sure. you go back and listen to the show. All right. So just a few things that's been on my mind, you know. Make sure you join Sandy's Wednesday Corner. Go to the Facebook page. If you have not befriended all of us, Master the Science of Business, make sure you go to our Facebook page, My Money Show. Make sure you like, make sure you click share everything that you see. Make sure. Yeah, Sandy's Wednesday Corner. We were talking about, I got to do a part two to that one. Man, everybody called me on that one, y'all. So make sure you check me out on Wednesdays around 9:45, 10 a.m., depending upon what I've got going on in that morning. But I'm only on for about 5 or 6 minutes. So make sure you catch me on the Sandy's Wednesday Corner. Reiki workshop we had a couple of weeks ago, Sister Shireen, oh my God, she gave me such a phenomenal shout out. I was just like, who's she talking about? Oh my God, we had so much transformation and love and just, I mean, we were just loving all up on Sister Shireen in that Reiki workshop. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, for her birth anniversary, oh
yeah. I
man,
had
we
a
had a
birthday treat
phenomenal
though.
time. Yes, we had a phenomenal time there. So if you, yes, ma'am, you want to share something?
No, I just was letting them know I had a birthday treat.
Yes, praise be to Allah. If you are interested in knowing about this thing we call energy, which is in everything, please go to Soul Wisdom INTL to check out the next Reiki workshop, which will be coming up July 14th. And we usually start around 3 p.m. from 3 to 7. So please go to Soul Wisdom INTL and click on that. Go to the events page and you'll see all of the upcoming Reiki workshops. Oh yeah, brother Jahi, your Thursday final call. Did you talk about that too? I don't know if you mentioned that. I definitely don't want us to miss that.
I didn't. Yes, every Thursday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. we do this week in the final call with myself, brother Rashad Sharif Muhammad, Professor Griff, brother Iquan Muhammad, brother Abdul Rab Muhammad, sister Kaba Muhammad, and we go to different locations around the city. Either Cafe Ulu will broadcast live from there, or some other dynamic black establishment within the metropolitan Atlanta area.
Wow,
So, but
I have
check us
checked
out.
them out, y'all. You talking about some fire at the table, talking about
It's
the
coming
information in the final call. If
straight
you
from.
have ever picked up the final call and you think that it's just like too much, maybe because there's a lot of information. I mean, it ain't no lightweight stuff. It's a lot of information. Check out Brother Jahi and his crew on Thursdays. They'll help you with some of the understanding of what's going on. That's right. Thank you so much, Sister Shireen. They'll help you and dive in, you know, dissect some of it for you to help you to help explain maybe some of the terminology, the news events. Why is it in the news? So make sure you check them out. I wanted to make sure we point that out, Brother Jahi, because I have checked you all out and I'm like, wow,
Oh, praise be to
that
Allah.
is
Thank
phenomenal. Truly, truly phenomenal. Okay, so on my little piece today, I decided that I wanted to talk a little bit about the heart chakra. So I'm always talking about energy. I'm always talking about, you know, how you can shift how you feel in just a second. I want to talk a little bit about the heart chakra, or the heart, the energy center, that thing that pump the blood throughout the system. Like you can actually get you can replace the heart. I don't know about replace, but you can get something that can do something similar to what the heart does. um if you need a transplant or you need to get a pacemaker that helps the heart. The interesting thing about the heart I want to talk about is the heart is responsible for balancing your life, love, and connecting you to everything. Just imagine, if you don't like somebody, you kind of say we are disconnected. Like in the family, you say we disconnected, we distant. You ain't got no love for them. One of the reasons why we hurt and harm each other because we ain't got no love for each other. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the heart. When we begin to understand the purpose of the heart, other than just it being to pump the blood through the ventricles and throughout the other remaining parts of the body, you'll understand that it is directly the center for God, Allah. So I'm not going to do a whole little segment here, but I just wanted us to point out that if you have found imbalance in your life, you may want to work a little bit with that heart chakra or that heart energy center. If you find that you're not able to connect with people on a superficial level, let alone a deeper level, you might want to check out some of that that's going on that you have not allowed yourself to forgive someone for what they did. Not saying forget, but I am saying forgive. Because as the old adage goes, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's really for you. So I just wanted to talk. I just felt, inclined to talk about that heart chakra today. And if anybody can benefit from that, check it out. All right. So I'm going to move right along in the program. As you always see her, oh, look, she looks so beautiful in her orange. She looked like she just a orange that just dropped out of the tree right into that little chair right there. Looking so beautiful every
That's
week, I tell you. And is that one of Sister Dorothea's garments, Sister Shireen, or is that Newell?
No, this is Sister Ermin.
Sister Ermin, oh yes, beautiful, beautiful garment. Our beloved Sister Shireen, always representing the higher, the higher thought process of modesty, and I'm gonna put it out there, Sister Shireen, purity. There's a lot of us. Okay, I ain't gonna go there. Anyway, Sister Shireen,
Right.
we ain't even gonna go there. Sister
Right.
Shireen is truly, when you see our beloved sister on the show, what you see is what you get. She's a hard working sister. She and Brother Jai, I have to say hands down, because they work exceptionally hard behind the scenes to make sure these shows, 3 years and 6 months, have continuously gone without a hiccup. And if we have been off the air, it's probably been maybe about 2 or 3 times since we've been on the air. Not very much. So if you need help with the podcast, this is the crew right here. Sister Shireen and Brother Jahi, I do my part, what they tell me to do. But I'm telling you, they are the glue to this network right here. Sister Shireen is a youth career and business counselor to our youth, much, much needed. Doing it every day in the Clayton County public school system. When I say public school, you understand what I'm saying. Wow. We truly, truly appreciate you, Sister Shireen. She is a published author of 4 books. 4 books. Absolutely. The Business Journal, How to Start Your Business Up. Forget the title, but it's a little booklet that you can go through and look at and get a
Building the
snap.
business mindset.
Building the business mindset, where it gives you a snippet. It's a quick read. You need to know exactly that process that Brother Jahi was talking about, 4 ways to market your business under $1. Once you discover what that is, then you get that little book so that you can begin to start the process of actually putting into place the ideas that you have, how to properly do that. She's the author of Little Sweet Khadijah. Oh my God. Yes, she's the author of Little Elijah. Praise be to Allah. And she's the author of Why I Wear My Headpiece. We are so grateful. And she'll be in a city near you real soon. Welcome, our beloved sister, Sister Shireen Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for that
Walaikum
kind and
salam.
generous
Alaikum
introduction. Doing this work of coming to you and bringing to you information that has been on our hearts to make sure that we are aware of the current trends in business and how to get our products out there and get information on what is are the best practices as time progresses and technology increases and all of those wonderful things. And one of those things is just to keep your ear to the ground, just to make sure that you are constantly looking at the trends and changes and gradually moving with those trends and changes as it pertains to your market. As Brother Jahi mentioned earlier about the 4 ways to market it to your market, meaning that who are your customers? Imagining who are my customers? Who are the ones who I am targeting my product to? And I know we like to say everyone, we all can use it. However, you want to start at a place. We start in a location and then we spread out wider. So narrow your focus and offer your services, perfect your services or products, and then branch out. The word of mouth from your immediate base will get you further out on one level. So that is a way to get out there. As Sister Sandy mentioned, her Reiki workshops are absolutely phenomenal. It will help to center you, and there are Reiki workshops all over, because I know this podcast goes all over. But if you're in the Atlanta area, Sister Sandy is your go-to person. And Sister Sandy, would you give them your contact information, your contact number, or the best way you would like for them to contact you?
Yes, ma'am. That is 770-906-6193. You can reach out to me directly if you have a question about what Reiki is, the benefits of it. You can also go to the webpage at Soul Wisdom INTL. Gives you a little bit more information on what a Reiki workshop is and how.
Correct. So wisdom
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
INTL.com.
Soul Wisdom INTL.com.
Excellent, excellent. So you heard
Thank you,
that.
Sister Sheree.
Yes, ma'am. You can get more information at either one of those locations, and we'll make sure that we have it on the screen as well. If you're able, if you're watching a computer, some of you may, you can just scan that little QR code there behind me, and that will get you to her website. And lastly, just to share with you, this is Sandy's information right here, and if you can see that, this is where you can contact her, 770-906-6193, or soulwisdomintl.com. And of course, the services, as she mentioned to you, with um, agrichild.com, you just go to agrichild.com and you can either get the books, the build a video, or you can get your youth academic career and business consultation booked here. And when you click on it, it'll give you my office hours. So I've been working with youth for over 21 years. So I'm pretty comfortable in that area, and they are comfortable with me. We're excited to get into the show. I'm really, really excited about our guest, because she falls right in the age range of the students that I've been working with for over 21 years, and she is doing such a phenomenal job. She's confident. She's exudes, the expertise of what it is that she is practicing. She is just absolutely amazing, and her name is Sister Amirah Muhammad, and we're gonna bring her in just a second. But I want to give you her bio briefly. One, she is a dancer. She has been dancing for over I think it's over 16 years, I believe. We'll get the right number, the right age for her. However, okay, so 15 years. She is a multi-talented 18-year-old with aspirations for a career in the performing arts, and that those aspirations is theirs right at her heels. Like, she is going to be traveling around the world with Alvin Ailey, and if you know anything about the Alvin Ailey company, that is no light weight. Her skill set is absolutely phenomenal. We'll share with you a video of just a brief video of what she is capable of doing. She was born and raised in Buffalo, New York. She began ballet studies at the tender age of 3. So, those of you who are parents out there, you are listening, your grandparents, you have grandchildren, you encourage your children to get their children involved in activities very early, especially homeschoolers. And she has been homeschooled, but her parents had the wherewithal to expose her to other activities that encouraged her to get involved and network with other human beings. That is extremely important so that they can learn how to solve problems, how to work out in a world that is much larger than a home or a school that only has, 5 to 10 or 20 people or other students in that school. It's difficult for them to get the breadth of what they of skill sets that they will need to develop um, while they are growing up in a protected environment. We want to protect our children, but we also want to give them the opportunities to solve problems, to network, and things like that. So her parents have done a phenomenal job with with that. Let's see. Since that time that she has been studying ballet for 3 years, she has honored her ballet skills, studying not only in Buffalo but internationally at the Victoria International Ballet Academy in Toronto, Canada. At the age of 14, Amirah began intense ballet training 24 hours a week at is it the Niglia? We can hear you, I believe. Let me see. Let me make
Neglia.
sure. Okay. How do you pronounce
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
How do you pronounce that? Niglia? Did I say that right?
It's pronounced Neglia.
Neglia. Okay, so Neglia ballet artist for 3 years in a row. Amira
Yes.
has trained at various prestigious summer
Yes, ma'am.
programs, including the Manhattan Youth
Yes.
Ballet, the Dance Theater of Harlem, the American Ballet Theater for 3 years, as well as the American Ballet Theater Weekend Repertory Workshops for 2 years. Amira has also had a love for music from a very young age, requesting a violin at just 18 months. She formally began her violin studies. Listen to that, 18 months old. Yes, because I mean, I observed my grandchildren. I didn't have all this wisdom when I was raising my own, but when I observed my grandchildren and they 18 months, yes, they know what they want. Hand it to them. Make these things available. Expose them to these different opportunities. She formally began her ballet studies at the age of 2, excelling early on, striving to learn new music and techniques under the tutelage of her father, founder and maestro of Muhammad School of Music, Henry L. Muhammad. Amira has excelled to concert level on her instrument. Amira has served as a concert master of the is it the maestro of Muhammad School of Music, chamber orchestra, performing regularly for audiences around the Western New York area. Amira has performed as a violin soloist with various orchestras, performing the concertos of Mozart, Vivaldi, Bach, De and Man. Oh God, man, what? How do you say this word? Because I already know it, but it's like
Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn.
Mendelssohn. Okay, it's spelled
Yes, ma'am.
completely different, but whatever. She has performed in numerous cities,
It's
concerts, and recital halls, including with the Grammy Award winning Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra at the age of 8. And she just goes on and on and on. Her other interests include reading, writing, sewing, and baking. Amira has entrepreneurial spirit, forming her own crafting business at the age of 9, creating handmade jewelry and crochet. I mean, just an absolute phenomenal young lady who is going to be dancing with the Alvin Ailey Dance Company this year, y'all. Meet our guest for today, Sister Amira H. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Walaikum
yeah, yeah.
salam, ma'am.
We need some
Right.
theme
We should
music.
have the applause.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And I believe your father shared with us that you needed to be on the show today because you are getting ready to head out somewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next Monday, actually, I start at the Ailey School. So I'm getting ready to move to New York later this week. So
New
really
York
excited.
City.
Yes, praise
Yes.
be to Allah. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. This is beautiful. And thank your parents. I apologize, Sister Shireen.
Oh no, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I did the intro. Y'all can take the. I stumbled
I,
over
you,
the intro.
I'm telling you, when as Sister Shireen was reading your bio and such a young age for it to be so lengthy, I mean, you are only going up from here. So we are just tremendously grateful to have you on the show. Let me ask you, have you ever been asked the question, who's who do you look up to? Who has inspired you to do all of these phenomenal things that you have done?
Oh, yikes. That's a huge question. I have many inspirations. Definitely my parents, my mom. Just
Tell
because
us your mom and your
the
father's name. Let's give them props.
okay, yes, my father is Brother Henri and my mother is Sister Isabel, and we're out of Muhammad Mosque number 23 in Buffalo. So, yeah, I'm down here in Western New York. They're huge inspirations for me just because of the way my mother homeschooled me and taught me many things since I was young. Um, we've always they've always kind of like instilled in me like a love for the arts. My mother, she studied fashion design, and my father being the violinist. When I was born, the music school was just starting. So every day when the students would come in and out of our house, and then also they would teach out of the mosque as well. So all these music students, I wanted to be a part of it. And just the love for the arts and the appreciation for the arts, they've instilled in me since I was little. So when I started ballet and when I started playing the violin, it's just something that's been a part of me. And then the discipline and all the lessons I've learned out of it, it has come back to thanking my parents and my family for giving me a way to express myself at such a young age, and then growing up, and then deciding that this is what I want to do. And I just, yeah, my parents are huge inspirations.
That is so phenomenal. At what point did you decide this is what you wanted to do?
um I think there's actually a story behind it that I'm not sure if you've heard, but another there's very few black dance companies out there right now. And the two that are the most famous are of course Alvin Ailey, which I'm really, really excited to be attending. But the other is Dance Theater of Harlem. And when I was 11, of course, I'm dancing. I would dance 3 or 4 times a week. It wasn't too serious yet. I mean, I was more into my music, my violin studies, than I was dancing, just naturally. I mean, my father, you would want your child to follow in your footsteps. But anyways, Dance Theater Harlem visited my city, and the ballet master, he came to my studio and he did a master class. And so I attended and I went in that class, and it was the best class I had ever experienced in my life. It was so, so different. And this teacher, he expected so much discipline, and he expected us to be like strong and determined and a whole new level to dancing that I had never experienced before. And I was like, wow, I did not know it could be that demanding. And after I remember coming out of that class and telling my mom, like, whoa, I love to do this. Like, I love to dance. And I like the fact that no matter how many classes, performances you've done, you never really reach that ideal level where you're like, I've made it. That's it. I'm the best dancer in the world. You can never reach that. And I liked the feeling of going every day and having something to continue to strive for. And then also, same weekend after that master class, Dance City of Harlem did a performance in my city, And I'm, sitting in the audience, curtain opens, and all these brown ballerinas in point shoes and skin tone and their beautiful costumes come on stage. And I'd never seen anything like that because, of course, growing up, what do you see? Like the stereotypical ballerina, she's Caucasian and she's super thin, and this European beauty standards, you don't really see yourself represented. So for me to see dancers that look like me on stage was completely different experience for me. And I was like, I can do this. I love to do this. I can make a career out of it. I can do it, and it would never feel like work. So that was a really huge turning point. And then since then, I don't know. I guess that was just the first moment that I realized that I really wanted to do it, and that it was a possibility, and that like I could see down the line, I could see myself doing that. And then once you have that like vision in your head, you get on it and you go for it. And that's kind of how that happened.
Wow, that's some discipline. I'll tell you, even sometimes us as adults, we're looking when we walk in the room, we're looking for people of color too. So it's not just at
Right,
any, at
right.
an age, we all are looking around like, oh, okay, it's a little. I don't know, but brother he used to working around them other kind of people. But me and Sister Shereen, we, because he's in the presentation and speaking and Mr. Communicator, so he goes in and he does his thing. But sometimes even we still look around the room and say, okay, we want some brown skin. Who can we connect with in here? Who do we see that's like us? And it just gives us a comfort level. It's so interesting because, and I asked you this question, and I'm gonna turn it over to our co-host here. Um, I just recently an awareness came to me, and that was that in this environment, everything is set up for us for it to go a specific way. And sometimes I don't think that other nationalities, other races of people realize just how naturally they will fall into the groove of privilege. Some of them are very aware of it, and some of them are not aware of it. It's just and like a no thinking. It's this way. It's always been this way. So let me ask you this: outside of the, let me ask you this first. It's a two-part question. Have you become more comfortable around ballerinas of other color? That's the first part. And then the second part is, what is it that you do to help keep you grounded and remembering where you're from when you go out and do these phenomenal things and it's not many of us around? So that's the
Excellent,
two-part question.
excellent question.
So the first question, how I gotten comfortable. Um, it's a process. Obviously now I'm 18. When I started getting super serious about this, at first it was more difficult because I would be in an audition and be the only Black girl in the audition. And I mean, obviously some people, it's easier for them to be like, okay, well, they look past color. But personally, with my experience in the ballet world, it's not we look past color and we look at talent. It's okay, she's good. But in order for, I mean, nationality or race or whatever it is you want to call it, in order for them to look past that, we have to be 10 in any field, 10, 20, hundreds times better than anybody else in the room just to be considered. So I've gotten used to it as I've matured and I've gotten older. It doesn't bother me, and I know personally what I need to work on, and I'm more focused on myself than how many other Black dancers there are. And I know that the opportunities that Allah has for me will come, and it just doesn't bother me or stress me out anymore. I know that with righteous intentions, Allah guides us to where we need to be at the right time. So I have that better maturity and sense now that I'm older than when I was younger. Of course, it would kind of, you feel left out or different, and I mean, like, just usual feelings about that. The second part of your question, what was the second part of your question?
How do you ground yourself
Can
when
you
you are
repeat your
out
second
and
question again?
about? Yeah.
How do I ground myself? Uh, I think I guess I answered that already. But just like knowing that now that I'm focusing more on myself and grounding myself. Um yeah, more so focusing on myself and knowing why and remembering why I do it. That I know I'm not dancing for somebody else. I'm dancing for myself, and just the enjoyment that it brings me, and the process. I love the process. I love working hard for something, and then when you achieve something, the feeling of wow, I worked hard for that. Praise be to Allah, I achieved that. I'm more focused on myself, because if you spend time focusing on, well, that other dancer gets that opportunity because she knows the teacher, or because she was privileged because this is a white company and I don't, okay, I'm going to go somewhere where I am accepted, or it goes towards another goal that I have for myself, which is to create or do for self an opportunity for me to do what I want to do and do what I love. So if that opportunity is not open to me, that's okay. I know I'm grounded, and the end goal is to create opportunities for us to achieve and bring forth what we envision for ourselves. So definitely gotten easier once as I've gotten older and I've matured and I understand why things happen and why the way they are. Yeah, it's definitely gotten easier.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You've answered so intelligently. Your parents would be proud. And we know you're going to do well as you have been doing. You're going to do well. And our prayers and love and all of that good stuff is with you. Please, please come back to our show as you get more comfortable in your young adult life and go on to do more phenomenal things. Please come back and check in with us.
Now,
I will,
I would like
absolutely.
to take a time to show, why we are so excited. I mean, you had an opportunity to hear from him, and I'm sure Brother Jahi has some questions that will bring out even more. But I wanted to share with you a visual that will give you an inclination of the skills and talent of our dear sister Amirah Muhammad.
Yay!
So I have a question. The difficulty factor, and that first of all, tell us what was that step that you did where you're constantly like, look at me, right? Like on your toes, and then you doing this with your feet. What is that?
Hopping.
Right? Hopping, and then
Yeah.
is there a name for that step where your foot is going in and out? It just looks like,
Well, they call
although
that
you
that
make it look effortless, it looks like I would definitely not be able to do it.
actually it doesn't hurt. I mean, it used to when I was younger, but you get used to it. The point shoes actually really don't hurt. So I mean, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, do your toes hurt?" No, not anymore.
Not anymore, but they used to. But is that
Yeah,
in your arena?
the first
Difficult?
couple of years.
Is that considered a difficult
Yes,
move? It is, right?
yes.
Yeah, it looks
It's
like a
it's
high
difficult
degree
because
step.
it's difficult. It's difficult because um, it's I guess it's hard to explain. It's like it's dance language almost, but um, basically ballet is not the way the body works. It's kind of unnatural to think about how everything in ballet is turned out, which goes against the way the body is created. It goes against that, so it's difficult at first to adjust. That's why they have you start at such a young age. So when I started point when I was like 11 or 12, if I were to wait any longer, it would have been more difficult. So when it comes to the difficult steps, such as the hops, as we were talking about, um, your body has to get used to it. So now that I'm 18, I finished my training. I'm finishing up my training. That stuff isn't as difficult as it would. So yeah,
Okay, excellent. Yeah, it does seem to be extremely difficult to do. So we applaud you for putting in the hours of work required to become as expert as you are. Brother Jahi, your questions? Or
Yes. Two things. First off, I want to thank Sister Tawan Muhammad of Inspired Youth out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Sister
yes.
Tawan is our connect when we want to uh, find dynamic young people among us. And when I told her what we were looking for, she immediately, oh, Sister Amirah out of Buffalo. She's a dancer. I was like, okay,
yeah,
fantastic. And then she said, well, she's the daughter of Brother Henri. I mean, we all know Brother Henri, the maestro, the master violinist, and who will be a guest, inshallah, with us on July the 1st, which will make a great segue from our showcase of arts and culture to the Ministry of Education, because he and his family owns a music school in Buffalo, and then he's the maestro. I mean, what else can we say? We've seen him do the performance with the minister, and we're looking at their product. He and his wife, and Sister Amira. I don't know if your ears were ringing earlier today, Sister Amira, but Sister Shireen and I were talking about you earlier today, because we had the opportunity to talk yesterday during our pre-show meeting, and the clarity and the focus that you have at such a young age. To those of us over a certain age, to see that kind of clarity in a young person is definitely refreshing, because a lot of us were not that clear minded. So the only question I have for you right now is, where do you see, or how do you see that your upbringing under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, how do you see that as being part of your success in going after your career aspirations? Let me say this. Reason I asked that, I know you share with us that at the time that you auditioned for the Ailey company, you were dealing with some trials and tribulations in your family,
Mhm.
and I admire that so much, because that mental toughness. You knew this was an opportunity, so you were dealing with that, and look at you now. In a couple of years, we're going to have to pay to see you, which we're looking forward to. So, how do you see the your upbringing in the under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as helping you be that success that you already are.
Right. 100% credit goes to the teachers of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I give 100% credit. Example, my mother and my father decided to homeschool me for the reason I can see, even when there's other students my age, I can see how, since I was homeschooled and my mother was my teacher, if I were to walk up to my mom and say, Mom, when I grow up, I want to be a dancer and I want to be famous and I want to perform all over the world, she would have been like, okay, you can do it. If I were to be somewhere else and express that to a teacher that would not have my best interest at heart, they would be, okay, well, that's not really realistic because this reason, and tell me why reasons I can't do it. So my mom, my father, anything that I would walk up to them, any idea, I always remember this, anything I would talk up to my mom, I want to do this when I grow up, or I want to do this, or today I want to try this. She would say, okay, let's do it. And the homeschooling, it gave us the opportunity to explore many different things, not just with music and with dance, but my academics, but just having that do for self mentality and knowledge of God and knowledge of self and just the natural. It's hard to explain. I mean,
no, you're doing a great job of it. No,
it's the way the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught the MGT and the FY to bring up their children. It gave me the opportunity to not have limitations to what I wanted to achieve. I never had those limitations. And especially with my mom, I get really like I give a lot of credit to my mother because when she had her stroke in September, I was starting to get back into the year. I'm a senior this year, so I was getting ready to start homeschooling again, and I was getting ready to start dance again. And when she had the stroke, all that was put on hold because I needed to make sure my mom was going to be okay. And I became her caretaker and helping my siblings and helping my family. And I was not able to spend as much time focusing on dance as I maybe would have liked to, since it was my senior year and I'm securing options for next year. And it got to a point where it was like, hey, I have no choice but to be strong and trust in Allah, as I've been taught by my parents. And it wasn't something that they forced on me, but something that they influenced on me. That when the time came for me to make the choice for myself, okay, would I go more towards the direction of the way this world, people of the world live, or the way my parents taught me, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches us to live our lives? When the time came for me to make that choice for myself, I made that choice for myself. And the certain trials, such as my mother having a stroke, it gave me the chance to realize how strong I was, and that if you trust in Allah, Allah will guide you to the right place at the right time. So of course I would naturally be stressing, hey, what am I going to do next year? It's my senior year. I want to dance, but this is happening, and money would get tight, or I wouldn't be able to make it to as many classes as I wanted to. Okay, trust in Allah and everything will work out. So of course I'm helping my mom. Audition season comes around in January. I maybe was not as prepared as I could have been because of the practicing, and I was missing practices. And certain teachers at my conservatory were saying, well, you're not really ready for this audition. And my mom, she always taught me to trust in Allah. Allah always provides for us. And if you're a righteous nature, Allah takes care of things. That the faith that you build from trials and trust in Allah that you build from trials, that they're necessary to help us evolve and become more righteous and closer to Allah. That trial strengthened me in it, where maybe it would have seemed like I was not ready for that audition, but my heart was, and I was ready to do this, to make the next step in my career. Did the audition, and I earned a full scholarship. And I don't know how it happened, but I know that Allah had his hand in it, especially since there was a trial going on with my mother, and I was not ready. But I remember an MGT telling me before the audition, because this was the first time my parents weren't going to be at an audition without me. So I was a little nervous, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I really, really wanted this opportunity. and I was as prepared as I was going to be. And she said, okay, it's between you and the law. And I left it at that, and I earned a full scholarship. And I could not be more honored or excited for this opportunity, because it's exactly what I it's crazy to think about, but just like when you put faith and trust in Allah guides you to where you need to be. And it's exactly the opportunity that I never imagined would happen. Say 5 years ago, if you were to tell me, hey Amir, you're gonna move to New York City and train at Ailey, and everything that you wanted it's happening and it's gonna get there, I wouldn't have believed you. But just like from trials, you grow stronger and closer to Allah. And it was difficult, and it's definitely been difficult to get to this point, but praise be to Allah, because everything's working out and I now have this opportunity. And yeah,
Oh,
definitely
praise.
the upbringing, I would not trade it for anything else. And just like where I am at now, this is an example. I mean,
Oh,
this is an example,
praise
I
is due
guess.
to Allah.
Or I of course need to be an example, because that's what the minister or the minister wants us to be helpers and examples. So
That's
as
right.
long as I'm embodying that in what it is that I do, so for me the performing arts, then it gives you like a sense of like calmness and strength, and it helps you get through trials. And yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? I need to see your driver's license or your birth certificate. I don't believe you're only 18. You're speaking the wisdom of someone much older, and I attribute that to the upbringing of that your parents instilled in you, and by Allah's grace. So thank you so much for sharing that. I don't you would never understand the impact that you just had on a lot of us with the statements that you just made. So I personally want to thank you for sharing that story. One of the most important things I think you said was, when we trust in Allah, then those things that are supposed to happen, come about. But we trust in Allah. So thank you for sharing that. And to those that are watching, that will
Right.
be watching this broadcast or are watching the broadcast, we talked about it yesterday. And I don't like really to make comparisons, but I just want to say this. You heard of Misty Copeland. This is our next god of ballet on the scene. So, as I said, we will be paying to watch Sister Amirah Muhammad. Keep that name on the forefront. We'll be reading about her in Essence magazine and in Ebony and in the Final Call and other major publications that we follow. Just like Misty. Misty Copeland is a bad sister. So, and she alerted a lot of us to that arena of ballet because of how dynamic that she
Mm-hmm.
she is. Oh, just one last question before I bring on Brother Sultan. Uh, have you performed Black Swan?
Okay, that is probably the most difficult ballet role there is the Black Swan. Just the choreography alone. I have attempted to perform that choreography. And of course, also at one of the ABT repertory workshops, that was the solo and the ballet that we studied. So I definitely had a chance to learn it, work on it. Of course, down the line, that's another goal that I have for myself, is to learn that choreography and really get a sense of like, hey, yeah, working towards it and achieving it at a higher level. But as a student, I have learned it. It's a
Okay.
intense role.
Yes, that is like the pinnacle of ballet, right? Those that perform that,
Right.
master it, I think you go into another zone within dance in order to pull that
Right.
one off. All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Sister Shireen, you have
Right.
anything? If you are able to stay with us, Sister Mira, please do. We have a legend in the music business that we're about to bring up. Oh, Sister Mira, do you have contact information that you would like to leave with those that are watching, especially our younger
Yes.
MGT OI that are watching, and they have these ideas in this creative space that they want to go, and now they hear somebody like you who are going after your goals. They may just want to reach out and thank you or whatever. How can they get in contact with you?
Absolutely.
What's the best method?
Okay, so I'm gonna can I, if I leave it in the chat, will everybody see it?
No.
No, no, everyone won't see it there.
No. Okay. Well, I'll shout out my Instagram and my Facebook. But also, yes, if there's anybody that is a dancer or anybody, and you want to ask questions or just message me, I'm very open to that because I know from experience when I was able to talk to somebody who's been there before me and who's been through the this, like, as far as being a dancer and or um going through the steps, it really made me feel a lot more confident and feel a little better when I could relate to somebody. So if there's anybody that has questions or just wants to message me about it, I'm very, very open to that. And I would love to message you. But my Instagram is at Amirah, Amirah, Ballerina. And my Facebook is just my name, I think, Amirah Muhammad. And yeah, that's my social media.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. You're definitely an inspiration, not just to the youth, but to those of us who are a little bit older than the the qualified youth age.
Yes, sir,
Really
indeed.
appreciate it. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Sula.
Um, yes, like I
Thank
said,
you,
if
Sula.
you want to stay, please stay with us. We have a legend in the music business. Is he on? Do you see him, Sister Shereen?
If he's on, I'm not sure if he, there's a BB on.
No, that's not. Okay, I don't see. He just called me. All right, so you all sing and dance. Let me find out where he is. Sister
Now,
Amira can tell us. Sister Amira can tell us about the time that she actually met Misty Copeland.
yes, so that was my next question. So we can go right there. Why don't you describe that awesome experience to us, the time that you met Misty Copeland?
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know,
Okay, so it was
oh, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
okay. It was 2012, and my mom, she likes to listen to the WON Chicago radio. So it happened to be one day, and Misty was on somebody's radio show, and I was like, okay, let me just see if I can call in and try to speak to her. I called in, and I was able to speak to her, and I had asked her if I could communicate with her by mail or email, and she was like, yeah, sure. So I sent her a letter, and she received it, and then I got a call from her, and it blows my mind crazy. I was so excited. And a couple of times that I was able to message her and, ask her questions, ask her for her advice. And then that summer, when I went to train at ABT where she dances, I was able to meet her. It was a really great experience. Of course, this was before she blew up and got really, really famous. But yeah, it was a crazy experience. And then now it's less frequent than before, but I'll be able to message her from time to time and see how she's doing and ask her for some advice. And she's actually, it's weird because you would think somebody of that like how high, like high in the ballet world she is now, you would think that she would get kind of cocky, but she's really, really not like that. She's very sweet and humble, and it's really awesome if any dancer is able to meet with her. It's really a cool experience.
Excellent, excellent. And for those who don't know who Misty Copeland is, we'll share just a few seconds of her. Um, that's a still shot, so you can see that. And let me just make sure we have audio here. Okay. And oh, I know what happened. I turned the audio off because I was cheating. That is Misty Copeland. So is that a routine that you're familiar with? And
Yes.
what you just did, you are. Can you do it?
Yes.
Can you do it?
Yes, it can.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Of course.
Wonderful. She said, "Of course, I
Well,
got
it's really like when you learn a variation,
that."
it's like we would go on YouTube like how you just did, learn the choreography and then go in the studio and practice it, and you would practice it every day, and then if I were to perform it, I would just like anything you do, you practice and you prepare and then you present it. So it's not as I mean it's definitely difficult, but it goes back to the like, hey, yeah, it's not an option for me to, oh, I can't do that choreography. That's not an option for me because Allah created the impossible when He created the universe. So any variation that I see, I'm able to do that just because I have that little sense of like, yeah, it's not an option for me to not be able to do that variation. So go for it anyways.
That is, folks, that is the results of homeschooling and also being prepared to homeschool. So, as we take on the endeavor of homeschooling, let's make sure that we are also prepared and we're feeding ourselves the wisdom um, that is necessary for our student or our children who also are our students to soar. What Brother Jahi was speaking about. And I've been working with youth for over 21 years, and to see a young person who is confident and knows what they want to do, is committed and dedicated to doing that, is not only a testament to their own inner strength, but is a testament to the support that's around them, that is encouraging, that is validating, that is has the wherewithal to expose them to the necessary activities, environment to help them to flourish and grow, and to hear her speak her purpose, to hear her speak her position, her desires, her dream with such confidence is what we are enamored about. So may Allah continue to bless you over and over and over again with the greatest amount of success. You can always reach out to Mind and Money Matters for any assistance that we can assist you with. We certainly will do whatever it is in our power and our reach, utilizing our resources to make sure that you get to the destination and beyond that you so desire, be it the will of Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
We are honored. It's our honor.
Indeed.
So is did you reach our brother?
Yes, we're gonna have to reschedule.
Okay, yes, sir. So I mean, we are at 7:26. Is there anything that you would like to share with your peers that you think would be helpful as you have grown up in a society that can be difficult and challenging, and dealing with your mom being ill, having to step in to be the big sister role, and still achieve your goals? Is there anything that you would like to share with your peers?
Yes. Something that I learned this year that has been really huge for me, but it's also a difficulty that I overcome was that it's so difficult with all the challenges and like trials that come upon us that we have no control over, to succumb to that and say, well, that's it. I give up. I can't do it. Everything that you've ever maybe envisioned, I don't even want to try. And you go through you go through your life not going for something or having a goal or a vision for yourself, and many of us have visions for ourselves, but when a difficulty comes upon us, we're quick to give up on that really very fast because of difficulties. There are going to be difficulties in anything of value has a difficulty factor. Um and of course it would have been easier for me to give up and say, well, my mom, she's not well, and there's not enough money or whatever, many things that come upon us that I had no control over. But if you have, like, I've heard the minister say this, you have a worthy goal, you have to envision it, and once you see yourself doing it, you have to get on making that a reality, because there's no mystery God. And if we move out on that goal and that vision that we have for ourselves, then there's no reason why you can't achieve it. There's when you move out and you have that goal on your mind all day, every day, that's really, in a nutshell, how this whole Ailey opportunity came about. Is I'm like, hey, well, somebody suggested it to me. Somebody said, hey, have you ever thought of Ailey? And I was like, no, because it's a modern dance company. It's something completely different that I've ever done. And I'm like, hey, well, I started to watch their videos and I was like, wow, I want to do that. I see myself doing that. So I moved out on everything. Okay, first thing I need to do this, I need to do this, and I need to do this to achieve that. And so far towards that goal, which is not yet achieved, which is to hopefully, inshallah, one day join their company, which is something I really, really would like to do. Everything that I've written down that I've wanted to achieve to get to that, I've achieved so far. So that's just a testimony to, if you envision or see yourself doing something, you have to have some worthy goal for yourself that keeps you going every day, rather than giving up as soon as something difficult happens. There's no point in Allah giving us a life if you have no purpose and you have not found something worthy to work towards. Then you're not making the most of the life that Allah blesses you with. So it's super important to know that there's nothing that you can't do. Even if somebody tells you that there's something that you can't do, Allah has more power than whoever is telling you can't do it. So you have to always remember that, and that's really what's helped me get past the difficulties and trials, is knowing that there's a worthy goal and vision that I have for myself, that there's no reason why I can't. So
Excellent. What
that's
a
my
way to close out a
my
show.
testimony, I guess.
I don't
Absolutely.
believe she's 18 years old.
I believe it. I mean, look at the
I believe it. I believe
I
it.
see all the bean soup and all the
Yes.
I see
Yes.
As,
nourishment, the teachings of the most
as
honorable
Sister
Elijah
Shireen
Muhammad
would
under the
say,
leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I see the discipline. I see the love exuding from, I mean, it just comes out of your skin.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
beautiful. May Allah bless you 1,000 times over. I know you make the
phenomenal,
Honorable
phenomenal,
Minister Louis
phenomenal.
Farrakhan proud, as we've been hashtagging we are Farrakhan, so absolutely.
Absolutely.
May Allah bless you.
Absolutely.
I'm ecstatic. And my prayers are with you. And inshallah, those who are watching, your prayers are with her as she
Yes,
travels. Yes,
absolutely.
as she goes out into the world and fly like that beautiful butterfly, dove, that whatever you want to relate it to, that is leaving the nest and going out into the world and utilizing that which she has been given to strengthen her. We're gonna follow you. So now,
I
Instagram
have a quick question
at
before we end, Sister
Amirah.
Shireen.
Yes, ma'am. Instagram at Amirah Ballerina. That's Amirah Ballerina, and also on Facebook, Amirah Muhammad. That's how you can keep up with.
Just a quick little
Sandy.
little question for you, beloved Sister Amirah. Do you have a Cash App or a PayPal account? You said yes?
It's
Her
a
system
it's a
is a little
slight delay.
delayed.
Okay.
Um, I don't, but I do have a Facebook fundraiser going on right now, actually, to help support my training, because, as you know, New York City is pretty expensive.
And that is
But
on your Facebook
that
page?
Facebook account is under that Facebook fundraiser is under my dad's account.
Okay.
The what?
What is your
Go
dad's
ahead and
It's
give us
under
that
my dad's
information.
account. So I think he's Amirah Muhammad, and I think the Facebook the Facebook fundraiser name is Help Amirah Get to Ailey.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Help
So
Amirah
that
get to
Good.
Ailey.
it should be public, my page. So yeah,
I
you can
hope
find
it's
that on
public.
my Facebook.
Yeah, we want to
Okay, one
definitely
second.
make sure if there's
Let me
anyone
get
who
actual
would
facts.
like
One
to
second,
support
so I can get the
you,
actual name.
that they have all
It's
of that
easier to search up.
information.
Um, it should be. I'm just making sure right now.
Right. And I'm checking it as well.
Um, yes, it's Help Amirah Ballerina Get to Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and it is public.
Repeat that one more time, below.
She said, help Amirah Ballerina get to Alvin Ailey
Yes,
Dance
it's on my page. So if you add me on Facebook, it's Help Amirah Ballerina Get to Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You got that, Sister Shireen, too?
I do. And I just
Praise be to Allah. I really appreciate the support and having me on. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. I think you are the first. We try to highlight a youth at least once a month, and I think you are the first one to carry the entire program.
Right, right. This is very true.
You are the
Very, very,
first one
very
to
true.
carry the entire. Did a phenomenal job. Thank you so much. And business scientists, for next week, we have legends in the music industry that will be with us next week. Our brother Shams is going to be our special guest co-host. He's a hip hop legend that we had on a couple of weeks ago, and he's bringing on a couple of his friends, Paradise Gray from the group um, X Clan will be with us, inshallah, and also Raheem from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You know the song, one of the top hip hop songs of all time, The Message. The child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. That Raheem will be with us, as well as our brother Sultan, a principal member of the SOS band. And if you any of you all have seen the documentary, The Black Godfather, about brother Clarence Avant, you must see that documentary about Clarence Avant. But the group SOS Band is featured in that documentary because when Clarence Avant had his little troubles in the music industry and he regrouped, came back strong with his second record label, the SOS Band here in Atlanta, Georgia, was the first group that he signed and put him back on his path to becoming the Black Godfather. And we have one of those members. We will have one of those members with us who was supposed to be with us today. Some family situations came up, but inshallah, we'll reschedule for next week. So listen, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell at least one other person so that this dynamic information about these bodacious black business owners that we're featuring, the word can go even farther, even farther out. So that's it from Falah Worldwide. Got to get out of here. Meet us at 3642 Camelton Road right now for the open FOI class, a community FOI class, all men. You can join us. Bring your sons, your neighbors, the young brothers in the neighborhood. Bring them. And if you're not in Atlanta, you can If you need to find out where your nearest Nation of Islam mosque is, you can go to noi.org and find that out, or you can give us a call before class, before I get to class, and we can help you find out where that particular location is in your respective city. So we've had an awesome show. Much success to our sister student minister Amirah Muhammad, the ballerina,
The
because she was
ballerina.
bringing it. She was bringing it, and as I said, we will have her father, the maestro, brother Henri Muhammad, will be our guest on July the 1st. So have a blessed one, and we look
And then
forward
this is
to.
this is the NOI.org that he mentioned, and this is the sister's Facebook page, and this is where you can make the donation for helping her to get to Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. So you just go to her Facebook page, Amirah Muhammad, right here, and it'll take you right to where you can make your donation. Go ahead, Brother Jahi, close us out.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam. Same time, same channel next week.
Yes, yes, yes.